And I always thought that TikTok was so cringy.
It's the dancing. That's how it started, isn't it?
No, it's not a bit of me.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Know Nothing. Our next guest may only be 19 years old, but has amassed an amazing total of almost 3.2 million followers on TikTok by sharing body positivity videos, as well as her beauty tips and advice. Myra is constantly challenging the online space and trying to educate everybody on why every single person is beautiful in their own way. She has also been featured in some top British publications, including the BBC, Glamour and Metro. By sharing her body positivity, she was also picked to be part of the top 10 to fly to LA to be part of James Charles's Painted collaboration. Miah has also been diagnosed with autism and has shared her experience of being raised in a low-income household and the struggles she faced from the ages of 6. So welcome to the studio, Miah. I can't believe you've never done I actually can't believe this about a lot of TikTokers, that they don't do podcasts or very rarely do podcasts, because you guys are so natural in front of the camera.
I'm actually quite shocked that I've never done a podcast before. I've always wanted to do one, or with someone. So you got me first. It's either I was going to come out with my own one or I'm going to go on someone's.
Do you know what? My best friend actually messaged me when I reshared your story, and she was like, I love this girl. When's this episode coming out? And I was like, well, you'll have to wait, Tina. But she's like a really big fan of yours. Actually, like when I was planning this episode and I was going through stuff, you're so young, first of all. It makes me feel ancient.
I'm 19. I turned 20 in 15 days, I think. 17 days. 19th of May, my birthday is.
I feel old. So when I saw that, I was like, damn, okay. And then, but like your childhood was not easy at all.
No.
And there were so many things, like you're honestly a better person than me for being able to handle all of that stuff. And then also being brave enough to share it. I mean, it's one of those things that's a really sensitive topic, so I never really know how to approach it. But, you know, what was it like growing up?
Very tough, different, because when I was going through, like, you know, primary school up to secondary school. So let's talk about primary school. So growing up from, you know, reception to year 6, I never had my diagnosis of autism. So people would be like, why is she doing this type of stuff? Why am I acting this certain way? And I would even question myself why I'm acting a certain way, because, you know, I didn't know I had autism until I was getting into like year 5 and 6. So you can imagine my whole kind of childhood, to be honest. You know, I'm acting this type of way and no one would understand why. So it was very tough.
Children can be really cruel as well.
Yes, they can.
Go on.
I'm just thinking the comments I get on TikTok now from children. The youngest I've had to tell me to go kill myself was a 6-year-old. Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's like, do you know, I've always believed in is that you learn from your parents.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you do.
You do.
Like, you know, I learned a lot from my parents. So, yeah.
What was it like with your parents, like trying to navigate your diagnosis?
So my dad he was never a dad. My dad was never there. My mum was a dad and my mum was a dad and mum. So my mum really pushed for it. Like, she went to the council and she screamed from the top of her voices, you know, this girl isn't right. We need, you know, help. And I think if it wasn't for her to do that, then I wouldn't have understood how I am to this day, probably. So it's definitely been a massive journey and a struggle. 1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, there's always so much debate on social media about growing up with a single parent household, and I always hear more about single mum households than single dad households, but like what was that, how did that impact you?
I felt very lonely. Well, I have four sisters and 5 brothers.
Wow.
But only one of my sisters lived with me. So my older sister left to London. She left when I was like, I think it was like 9 or 10. My brother, my oldest brother, Tyrone, he left when I was 6. Still can't find him to this day. And then my other middle-aged brother, he lives with his mum. And then my other siblings on my dad's side. So really, it was just my other sister, Tisha. So she was... The struggles I was going through between me and my mum, she was basically like another mum to me. Yeah, she helped me a lot.
You say struggles with your mum. What were the struggles?
So growing up, again, my mum as well didn't really understand why I was, constantly having outbursts, why I was ripping dolls' heads off and burning my carpet when I was younger and doing the most. My mum had a lot of relationship issues. I see stuff at the age of, 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 that I should have never seen, at that age. I got myself into really bad stuff when I was younger. And I don't think I had the support. Again, my sister was like another mum to me. But I'm not about to sit here and, slate my mum because, it's my mum. Without her, I wouldn't be in this world. But, I will... My mum definitely has to take some accountability of what she has done to me in the past. She has damaged me in some type of way because I see stuff at such a young age I should have never saw and stuff. So it does play a big part in me, even today.
There's always that thing that children should always forgive their parents because they're your parents, but sometimes it's just not possible. No matter how much you love them, you just can't because it lives with you forever.
Yeah, and I love my mum. I do love her, but I will always have, see with me, I forget but never I forgive but never forget. Yeah, that's one thing with me. I will never forget. Okay, and the stuff that she has done to me in the past, I will never forget ever. But if she needs help now, she's a 54-year-old woman. She lives at home with her 2 dogs. So if she needs anything now, I'm there. But as I said, what she's done to me in the past will always play a massive part in my life.
Is it hard for you to talk about that stuff now? Because I know on social media, which we'll get onto later, you're very open about everything.
Yeah. So I mean, it does, tickle me a bit, but it is what it is. I'm open about a lot of things because I know whoever's watching this or whoever's watching my account someone's gone through that, so it will help someone. Love helping people. If it wasn't for TikTok, I would have been an ambulance assistant, because I love helping people. I've always loved that, feeling of achieving something, like making someone smile. So yeah.
So talk to me about your autism diagnosis. So you said that your mum had to really push for it. Mm-hmm. And is that just because you felt like the school weren't really taking you seriously?
The school never took me seriously at all. It's sad. The system failed me. And it makes me really emotional because I never knew why I was doing this type of stuff when I was younger. And even sometimes to this day, I'm like, I don't get any help anymore. I left college. As soon as I started TikTok, I left college. I left my job. I took a massive risk. And growing up, the system failed me so much. And I'm not the only one. They fail so many young kids. They honestly feel like the parents are lying about why, that the children have autism because they always think it's just for the money. No, there are children out there that need that diagnosis and need that help, without an EHCP plan when you're in school. So what do you know what an EHCP plan is?
No.
So what it is, it's a plan that has all your diagnosis on it, and it says on that plan what your needs, what you need throughout school, and if, for example, I don't know, this is an example of mine. So I can't be in a classroom of 30. I have to be in a classroom of 5 or less. And I have to have everything written on a personal whiteboard because I can't work off a massive whiteboard because I just lose concentration. So that's in my EHCP plans and stuff like that. Without that, the school won't take you seriously. So, it's been a massive struggle, and that's one thing about my mum throughout growing up. In the back of my head, my mum always used to tell me, I'm never going to pass my GCSEs, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that. And I think that played a massive part as well in my life. So that's why I didn't pass them, because I always had that mentality do you know what, F the GCSEs and stuff, because I'm not going to pass anyway. But I feel like if I did concentrate maybe a bit more and I had that, that had support, then I probably would have passed. I got sent to an autistic school in end of year 9 to year 11, and I'm telling you this now, it was the best 2 years of my life. That's when I got fully diagnosed. So you can imagine, from reception to year 10, that's when I got diagnosed with my autism. So my whole school years, I've been failed. I had no help at all. So it's been a massive struggle. That's why I started TikTok.
What was the biggest struggle when you were in school pre-diagnosis?
A lot of things, to be honest. I think it was more about, so there's two parts, the bullying and the education side. The education side was really, it was a massive struggle. Again, I couldn't be in classes. I was in all girls school, so I couldn't be in classes of a 30. That's how many, the max in the class was like 35 people. And what they would do is because back in, I'm going to be so honest, okay, back in secondary school, I was a very loud person. I was a very fighty person. Like, I was very fierce. Like, I would walk around and stomp my weight all round and like effing and blinding here and that. Like, you wouldn't imagine I'm like that, but I was like that in school because I always thought that doing stuff like that was good because no one told me no. No one told me don't do that because I didn't have any support. So the school would honestly just constantly put me in like isolation, exclude me. I remember there was a time where they excluded me for 2 weeks just because they didn't want me in the school, and I'd done nothing wrong. I think all I'd done was back chat to a teacher and they excluded me for 2 weeks, So again, that's why I say this system fails majority of these, majority of autistic kids, and it's sad.
And what was the bullying like at school?
Oh my gosh. I think I compare it to secondary and primary. I'd say the secondary school was worse, but even the primary kids can be mean. People can be so mean, especially being in all girls school. The bitchiness in all girls school. Oh my gosh, girls can be mean. Like, I'm like, sis, what's your problem? So it's been a massive journey, but the bullying in secondary school, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, yeah. Yeah. They're just mean. Like, I just don't understand what there's clearly something going on at home with yourself, okay? There's clearly, you clearly have problems. You're reflecting your pain onto someone else. And I can't lie, I'm going to be so honest, and I don't think I've spoken about this on my social media. I have done that to other people, okay? You live and you learn, all right? And I have reflected my pain onto other people, because again, growing up, I thought that was okay. I thought that was, I didn't think it was a bad thing, but really and truly it was, because again, I had no support. I had no help. No one to sit there and tell me, no, Myah, don't do that. It's wrong. So you can imagine, obviously growing up, it's been a massive struggle, but there's been times throughout secondary school I've self-harmed. I've tried to kill myself multiple times, but I feel like even to today, I definitely do let the bullies take over me a bit, and I need to teach myself. I'm slowly but surely teaching myself, but yeah.
What would you say to younger Myah now?
Reach for the stars, baby. Honestly, if I had the confidence and the confidence and like the support I have now back in the past, oh my God, my life has changed. But I'm glad I went through all these like ups and downs and all these struggles, because now I know how to deal with them, and reflecting back on the past, and again, telling my story to other people. So, as I said to you, I'm open about anything,
Yeah, I saw in Glamour that pre-starting TikTok, you had 17 retail jobs.
I had 17 retail jobs.
I thought I'd had a lot of retail jobs.
Right, let's talk about that. So, with me, and again, my autism, I don't like being told no. So I have, I think it's called ADD, autism deficient disorder. So I think that's what it is. Where you don't like being told no. I don't think anyone likes being told no. But basically, what that is where, again, you don't like being told no, and like I get really like what's the word? As soon as someone's rude to me, I'm like, F off, fuck you. I don't like you. Go away.
Yeah.
So
that goes down well with customer service.
I can't lie though. I can't lie. The customers did love me because I was honest. I was true. You're like, you're right, love. You want a bag? Do you know, darling? Do you want it? Like, I'm not like I'm like I'll be my true self. Like, and I think that's why customers used to love me, but the managers didn't. So what happened was, as soon as a manager was rude to me or like, Myah, don't do this, bye. Physically, bye. Like, I literally was like, I quit. That must have been a time where I just tied my shoe, but I put my shoe on like one of the sofas. And he was like, you can't tie your shoelace on the sofa. I'm going to be so honest with you. I was like, fuck off. I'm going. I left. House of Fraser did me bad, man.
How did you even get another job with like the references?
I honestly don't know. I think at the time when I was there, he was temporary manager, so he left. So I think
Got away with it.
Got away with it. I've worked at like all the makeup stations in Boots. But again, that was through under agency. I've worked at Foot Asylum. I've worked at Stevenson's. Stevenson's was the worst.
What on earth is that?
Stevenson's is, where you get your school clothes from. You ever heard of Stevenson's? So it's like so in Reading they've got like, I don't know if it's in other places, but it's like where you buy like your skirts and your shirts. So like, for example, you're going to like.
Do you know what? I was a naughty kid at school, so I didn't wear proper school uniforms. That's probably why I don't know what it is.
So it's like when you have like the logos on. You need it, like the logos printed on. It's like that in type of shops because you can't get it from Asda.
I always used to go to those weird shops like in the middle. There's that mall in Reading near where Primark used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there'd be like those random shops that sell like really tight trousers.
Oh, okay.
I used to wear them at school,
so
I never used to went to a normal.
So do you not remember Jackson's Corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that Jackson's Corner it's now called Stevenson's.
So I've probably seen you walking out of your job
probably.
on multiple occasions.
But I've had a good few jobs.
That CV of yours must be.
My CV's big. My CV's big. But it's it's all right. It's all right.
Is it?
No.
Well, I think because you'd been diagnosed at that point, did none of your like employers ever consider your autism in your job?
I know this is really bad, but I never told them I had autism because
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why I went wrong. I never told them I had autism because back then when I was applying for jobs, they never took people who had special needs. And it would like, I knew I wouldn't get the job if I said I had special needs, which is sad to be honest. But yeah, and yeah, I didn't put on any on my CV that I had special needs.
That's really sad. And then maybe, do you ever think like if you had told them, you would have probably stayed at one a bit longer?
No, because as soon as a manager was rude to me, honestly, as soon as someone's rude to me, it's like in school. That's why I was so like sometimes rude to teachers, because as soon as I get told off, I'm just like effing and blinded, like, oh, leave me alone.
Did you ever work at a fast food chain?
Never. That's one thing I didn't do.
Yeah, you wouldn't have lasted
I wouldn't have lasted
one I worked
at. But it's crazy. I just don't understand why managers have to be so rude to their employers. Like why are you
for
so
me it
rude?
was always customers.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, for me it was my managers.
Oh, okay. We obviously worked at very different places. We might have worked really randomly. I used to work at Benefit in Boots in Reading.
No way. I didn't work there, but you know the one behind it Cosmetics? I used to work there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a lot older than you though, so
I didn't accept it for Benefit.
You didn't accept work?
No, wait, hold up. I did work for Benefit, but under an agency. So, like, do you know what, like, them agencies are?
Yeah.
So, like, they'll, like, just call you in when you need, then there's no help. So, I think I worked on there, like, a few times, but I didn't realise I was working on there.
You literally would have been in primary school when I worked there, though, to be fair. I was, like, 17. So, you literally would have been in primary school. But, like, going from all of that and all your retail jobs, starting TikTok because your boyfriend said you should.
Yes. So there must have been one day. Let's start from the beginning. I had social media before. I was on Instagram. I had Musical.ly. And then TikTok came around when Musical.ly stopped. And I always thought that TikTok was so cringy.
It's the dancing. That's how it started.
No, it's not a bit of me. Like, what are you doing? So I had Instagram. I was doing like special effects because I really wanted to do like behind the scenes makeup and like, I don't know, people, going to the Met Gala or something, like doing their makeup or stuff like that. But it just never really picked up. No one really picks it up. So I stopped it for a bit and I was capped at literally like 2,500 followers. Literally I was capped at around that much and I wasn't gaining any. So there must have been one day I was on a bus with my boyfriend and I just broke out crying. He's like, "Why are you crying for?" I was like, "Because I want to you know, I've always had that mentality of I want to become famous. I've always had that mentality that I want to be in the spotlight. And if it wasn't for social media, I was going to do acting. You know, when I was at college, I'd done like my level 2 acting. I was in the West End when I was younger. I'd done Stagecoach. I'd done all that stuff. And being autistic, I also have short-term memory loss. So I couldn't remember the lines or anything. It was really, really struggling. So that was a no-go. So then again, that's why I started TikTok. And that. So again, I was on the bus with my boyfriend and I just cried to him. I said, listen, I want to be like, I had a certain friend that literally she's kind of like my close friend, but she went sky high within a few amount of videos. Like she gained 1 million followers like within a few months, like half a year. So I was like, I want to be like her. My boyfriend said, dry your eye, okay, shut up, basically. And why are you sat here crying? If you want to, you know, follow your dreams and you want to hit that goal, then go home and go and fucking hit that goal. Don't worry, am I allowed to swear on here?
Oh yeah. People have done worse on here, to be fair.
Yeah, so go fucking hit that goal. So that's what I did, and he basically just like the whole journey. He's just been there, no one else but him, and I could honestly, hands up to him, man. He has been amazing. Like that conversation on the bus, I will always remember. You know, he literally like hugged me and was like, "Listen, you can do it. You know, reach for the stars and go reach your dreams and stuff, you know." So he said, listen, you're not going to be gaining followers from posting one video here, one video there, okay? You're going to gain followers if you're consistent. And that's what I did. I was consistent, you know, and then look at me now, I'm at nearly 3.2 million.
Yeah, I think I was reading that it was one day where you gained 30,000 in a day.
Yes. So that was because when I first started TikTok, I made a video of me crying. And I was like, I want to start a journey. I cry a lot. I just realised.
That's all right. Let it out.
Cry a lot, man. I'm so emotional. And basically I just cried on a video and was like, I want to start doing like a journey and stuff. I want to start doing a weight loss journey. And then it literally got like millions of views in like one day. I woke up and I was literally had like my followers are going up and up and up and up. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that's when I quit college. That's when I quit my job. I was like, bye. I know this is going to be my full-time job. I know this is going to be like my job. So that's literally what I'd done. And I went from there, to be honest. And I started doing a weight loss journey and it got really toxic. Because I wasn't being true to myself and I wasn't being true to my followers. So I just was like, do you know what, let me put something out on social media that you don't really see on a day-to-day basis. You don't see people showing their back rolls and a belly and their cellulite and stuff. So I was like, do you know what, let me be unfiltered. Let me put something out that people need to see and the world needs more of, you know. So that's what I've done. And it's been more successful than doing a weight loss journey. So... and I love it. People call me the inspiration. I see people in the streets constantly. You know, as soon as I came in, there's a girl like, oh, I love your TikToks. You know, it's such a nice feeling. Such a nice feeling.
Do you find it weird, like, to consider yourself an inspiration to someone?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of pressure?
A little bit, yeah. Because, again, my younger self, I was if you knew me when I was in secondary school, you'd be like, is this the real Miah? Like, this is a whole different person. Like, are you Myra? Like, I was literally two different people. And one thing I will give TikTok, it has changed the way I speak, the way I've matured. It's changed the way, it's kind of helped my autism. I was on medication and being on TikTok has helped more than my medication. I know that's crazy to say, but like, it really has. Like, I've learned stuff on social media. I'm just being so wrong. I'm so sorry. I've learned more on social media than I have in school.
I think, do you know what? Actually, you're not the first person that said that to me, and I think it's because you're free to do your own journey when you're on social media yourself, and it can be a very toxic, nasty place to be. But there are some things and some parts of it that are amazing, and I think that people don't necessarily talk, because bad stories sell more than good stories. But it's like you were saying, you weren't true to yourself in the beginning. But why did you feel like you weren't true to yourself?
Because I was lying a lot. I was eating more than I was posting. I was eating more than what I was showing. I just wasn't, it was getting really toxic because I'd wake up, I'd be like, I need to make this video, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I would just feel like a certain type of way. Like I wasn't feeling good how I feel when I like make my body positivity ones. Because my videos that I post now actually help myself, you know, so yeah.
Do you think a lot of people lie about what they're eating on social media?
That's a good question. I'm going to say yeah. I am going to say yeah. Because, you know, social media.
There's a whole lot of like salad bowls and smoothie bowls and stuff. But like, I know that I don't always eat like that.
Yeah.
I ate 20 chicken nuggets yesterday.
I had a Chinese last night.
Oh, there you go then. But like, but I wouldn't share that. I wouldn't share a video of me eating 20 chicken nuggets.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But then people always like really hyper focus on the like nice side of your life as opposed to like, the bad side.
And that's where the toxic, is the word toxicity? Is that even a word?
I actually don't know.
Toxic, something like that. That's where the toxicness comes in with social media. There's this massive stigma in social media at the moment where you need to look a certain way, where you need to be a certain way, where you need to act a certain way, eat a certain way, like as you said with salad bowls and stuff, but really and truly they're eating 20 chicken nuggets. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it needs to stop. And I thought, you know, people like me, people like you, you know, are helping this how to explain it, community and social media, trying to change the ways of it.
I think TikTok is probably one of the most toxic places I've ever seen though. And when anybody posts any form of body positivity, whether you're slim, whether you're a curvier person, it's hard. But particularly when you're on the, like when you are a curvier person, they are nasty. And how, like, having obviously gone through bullying at school to now having to experience it as an adult in your day-to-day job, how do you manage that?
How do I manage like the bullying and stuff?
Because let's be honest, in the internet, it's relentless. Like at school, when you left school, it pretty much stopped. I mean, for me, it did because there was no internet. But for you, it might have been a bit different. But when it's online, it doesn't matter whether you're at home, whether you're in the street, it's always there.
Definitely, I've been like verbally and physically abused in the streets quite
because
a lot.
of TikTok.
Because of TikTok, yeah. It's been when I first came on social media, I always thought, yeah, social media is a good place. I'm gonna make new friends. No, honey, no, I didn't. You know, I again nearly committed suicide 3-4 times. You know, I ended up in hospital quite a lot of times because I let the comments take over me. You know, so it's been a massive journey. It's been a massive struggle with that side. But now I see a comment, I'm just like, do you know what, fuck off. Fuck you.
Is that just because you've been on it a lot longer?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there is a video, and I'm not even joking with you, there's one video that's probably got like 12 million views. And I'm telling you now, there's like 10,000 comments. I don't know whether it's because of me, the way my comment section is, but I'm scrolling, and every single comment is a hate comment. And I think at the bottom is like a few, like, you know, like mixed and like jumbled up at the bottom. Like there's like a good few positive comments, but there's a video that I've had, it's still going viral to this day, that people are not nice.
How does it make you feel to be assaulted, whether it's verbally or physically in the street because of your job?
It makes me really upset how we have these horrible people in this world. You know, you're clearly mentally ill. You know, there's something wrong with you. So it's upsetting. It is really upsetting. You know, when I did get verbally abused in the street, you know, and walking past and there's a group of like 20 people and saying fatty this and fatty that and that, it did make me feel like really, really upset. Really upset. But if I got it now, I would just be like, fuck off.
Was this when you were a lot younger? Because you've been doing TikTok for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years?
2.5 years, I think.
Yeah.
2.5 years. If it was now, as I said, I'm fine. I don't really care, whatever. But again, back then, it did. Like, it really affected me. Really affected me.
So what would you... Do you ever think that it would change, though?
No.
Even when you sit here and tell people that you've wanted to take your life, you don't think that's ever going to stop people saying things to you?
No. Social media will never change. People never change. You know, you can't cure someone's addiction, if that makes sense. You can't cure, you know, people clearly like to have this thrill of bullying people, you know, and you can't, how to explain it? No matter how much I put on social media about anti-bullying and stuff like that, and don't bully people, you know, some people, it will change the way they think, but a majority of the people, you know, it definitely won't completely stop them from bullying people. You know, I've actually had my haters DM me and said, I'm so sorry for bullying you and this and that. And we've spoken. I don't hate my haters. I don't, because there's clearly something going on in your life. Message me. If you have a problem with me, message me. We can talk it out. I don't hate anyone. I don't hold grudges and that, you know. And this is where, you know, where I get a bit confused, because there's so many people on social media that don't like me, influencers and some followers, you know. And I'm just like, if you met me in person and we spoke, I'm such a loving and caring, you know, not trying to toot my own horn, but you know, person. I'm such a down-to-earth person. I really, really am. You know, I give the world to anyone. For example, like, if I had £1,000 in my bank and, for example, you didn't have any money for 1 month, I would give my £1,000 to you, you know, because you're struggling. You know, I'm that type of person. You know, that's how I've been brought up. So, and I think that, again, that's where I've gone wrong a bit, because even to this day, like, if anyone need anything, they can come to me, money, advice, anything. And I feel like that people take a lot of advantage of me, but it's how I've been brought up, because my mum's the same.
Yeah, well, at least it's nice to know that the world is also giving you things back.
Yeah.
Because you recently came back from LA.
Yes.
Where you were picked to be one of the faces of James Charles's Painted campaign.
Yes.
Tell me about that, because I actually don't know much about the campaign itself.
So basically, James posted a video to pick 10 creators to fly out to LA. And I thought, you know what? This is 10,000s of people have entered. I ain't going to get this. I remember seeing like a few other like famous people do this before, and I've entered and I've never got it. So I thought, you know what, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And one day my friend messaged me on Instagram. He's like, oh, have you entered the thingy? I've had quite a few messages like, enter, and people were tagging me in his video. I was like, right, guys, you clearly want me to enter, so I'm gonna enter. So I did. He was like, you have to wear makeup, wear your favorite makeup look, tell me why you love makeup. I'm not even joking. You know, I think I had took my bonnet off my head, and I was like, hi guys, right, this is why I want to enter. Like, it was the most chilled video ever. And I got picked. I was really, really shocked that I got picked. But I'm going to tell you this now. I've met a lot of celebrities, especially in like his industry. James is one of the most nicest people I've ever met in my life. Like, he is so caring, so nice, so down to earth, so funny. And I feel like people look at him in such a wrong way, you know, regardless of what's happened, you know, in the past. He is such a loving person. Really, really nice. So really nice.
When you flew out to LA, what happened?
So when we flew out to LA, it was a 10-hour flight. 11 hours.
Did you not get put in first class?
No, that's one thing I didn't know. So
we know you've got the money, James. Why'd you not put the girl in first class?
James, listen, yeah, if you're watching this.
I would die, first of all.
No, I was fine about it, but I did upgrade. I upgraded to first class. I took my boyfriend with me, so he was so happy. So I upgraded him as well. He was loving it. It had the beds where you lay down and everything, but it was nice. But when we got to LA, we got checked into our hotel. I didn't see him the first day. Me and my boyfriend was absolutely tired. We were shattered. So we literally went to Chick-fil-A and got food, and then came back to the hotel and fell asleep. And then when we got up in the morning, there was, what did we do? There was a hike first thing in the morning to go see 7 o'clock in the morning. No, 6 in the morning to go and walk up the Hollywood.
Okay, that sounds fun though.
I was like, no, I've got a problem with my knee. I'm not coming. I'm sorry, I'm not coming. I do have a problem with my knee, but I was like, no, I'm not a morning person. So they done that, and then when they came back, we had like an activity to do in the evening bit, and was like a tour bus, and that's when we see him. So we like done a tour like of the whole of LA. It was really, really nice. He took us around there. The next day was the actual photo shoot. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was so good. He treated us like really well. We had like our own like robes and everything with our name on it and that, and he gave us so much stuff. Like, so lovely, such a down to earth person.
I'd expect it if you'd have flown 10 hours out there.
Say it again. Wait, what?
Flown 10 hours to LA.
Oh.
The least you think you get is sort of nice little robe. But would you say that experience is like the highlight of your career so far?
Oh yeah. Been amazing. It's been the biggest thing I've ever done. Biggest thing, that, and then my Maybelline photo shoot that I've done. But that was incredible.
Let me just pick up that name that you just dropped there. I didn't even know you did that.
I know. I've done quite a few things with them. Maybelline is one of the best brands I've ever worked with in my whole entire life. Like, they are so inclusive. They are so loving. They're caring. And like, I've never felt so accepted by a brand in my life. Like, even just by them, like the people that work for Maybelline, they're amazing. And I must have done like a few photo shoots with them. The first photo shoot I'd done with them was like I don't know if you see it. There was like I was everywhere. I was like all over the TikTok ads, and we were like, I can't even remember it now. It was like we had to do like dances and stuff. You know, when you got to do the awkward dance.
The thing that you just said you didn't like doing.
You know, like when you got to do the awkward, like the fake laughs. But it was really, really good. I done that, and then that was on a few TV adverts, and I walked into the Oracle, and I actually see my face on. That was an amazing moment. And then it was like on like a lot of like social media ads, and then I done another photo shoot for them, but it was like an at-home one I had to do. And then literally one day I had one of my followers message me. I was like, "You're on Superdrug." I was like, "What?" This was at my top of my bucket list to be in a storefront, and it happened.
With Superdrug?
Yes.
What is the next goal for you then, if you've completed that one already?
So my next goal is to have my own book. I'll tell you a few of my goals, but my biggest goal is to have my own book. I really I want to be on a billboard. I want to have my own talk show, my own podcast. I got loads of dreams.
Yeah, well,
I've got too much.
What would you write your book about?
So it'd be about confidence, body positivity, self-love, relationship advice. It'd be a book where people can come and feel safe. It'll be a book where people can relate to a lot. It'd be a lot of advice in the book. It'd be about me. There'll be stuff in that book that I've never ever told anyone before, especially on social media. Like, it'll be a lot of things that'll be in that book, and I'm really, really excited to, yeah.
What would you say to somebody that was listening that basically was a younger version of yourself? Like, what advice would you give to them right now?
It's to be consistent and reach for your dreams. Do it. If you have a dream, do it. Honestly, for example, if you have a dream to become an ambulance assistant, make sure you put a lot of work in and do it, because it is one of the best things I've ever done in my life. It really is. Like, a lot of hard work. Like, if someone said to me, can you give me what you just said, I'd honestly just be like, reach for your dreams, you can do it. You know, don't let anyone tell you different, don't let anyone like get in the way of it, because it's possible.
And that person that tells you to do it should also get a first class flight to LA.
Yes, James.
So I always end my podcast on a similar final question, and it's, what would you tell to people in the past or people in the future, like your haters, that doubt your success based on the fact that you're a woman?
I don't hate you, but fuck you.
I mean, she's said it with chest, really. She can't drop the mic because it's attached to a post.
Yeah, I don't hate you, but you know, you made me stronger, and I'm glad what you've done, because look at me now.
Exactly.
I'm earning more than your mum.
I don't know what to say now. I mean, it's true.
No, but I do love the job I do. I really, really do. And I'm so grateful for everyone that follows me. I really don't care about money. What me is as long as I make someone smile, that is my job's complete. Like, I really don't care about money at all. You know, when I get brand deals come in, I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. You know, I'll do anything for free. Anything for free. I really
like
would
this
do.
podcast.
Honestly, I'll do anything for free, because I know, like, when I get my story out there, I know it's gonna touch someone. I know it's gonna inspire someone. So, you know, there's a lot of people I get like, oh, you're doing this for money, you're doing this for that. No, like, babes, I really don't care about money. You know, I was brought up with no money. I came from a background with no money, and you know, one thing my mum did do, she did bring me up right with that in that end. You know, money ain't a problem at all. So
No,
yeah.
that's really nice to hear. And do you know what? It's so, first time I met you, I was like, oh, she's so sweet. So nice. And I always get really worried when you see people that have really big followers. They're not as nice as they seem online, but you genuinely are. And
thank you
for being letting me be the
That's
first
all right.
podcast host that has you. And yeah, I can't wait to see you on your billboard and your book.
Yeah. Hopefully on a TV show soon. Love to do that, or my own podcast or something.
Yeah.
Something.
I mean, go for it, but then maybe when you do that, take me on the flight to LA.
Yeah, definitely.
Taking your boyfriend's place for that one flight, sorry.
But no, I hope whoever's listening took away and took some good advice, took my advice and feel good. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My favourite bit is when she's like, I earn more money than your mum.
No, it's true though.